Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do the second part in my continuation. So the first part, I unboxed the Switch 2, and the Switch 2 has been with me, as you can see it down there in the game room. So we're in the game room today, so I'm going to show you basically. So in part 1, I opened the Switch 2, and I showed you my initial unboxing. Today we're going to do more of my, so it's nearly been with, so tomorrow it's been with me a week, and I'm going to give you some impressions about what I've played in that week, and basically whatever it's worth the money. So basically I'm a Nintendo fanboy though, so for those that don't know me in person, I've been with Nintendo for a long time. I've been with them since the SNES. So this is going to be a video from the my perspective basically. I mean, hopefully it'll give you a bit of idea of whether you want to get a Switch 2 or you want to wait for it. All right, so we're in the game room today. So basically, as you see, it's on the, that's my TV. I'll go into that in a minute. So I'll just show you a little bit around the room. So basically, I'm not only a Nintendo collector. I'm a big, well, I like physical video games in general. Those who don't know me, I've been collecting for a long time now. I've basically been playing for like 35 plus years plus anyway. Right, so I'll show you around the game room quickly. So I've got my Xbox there, so that's the Series X. Behind the Switch, there's a Wii U. That's the main TV there. On floor, we've got PC. It's quite big. It takes up a lot of space. So basically in the back, that's my main TV. That's a 65-inch LG NanoCell TV. It's an 8K TV. That's a PVM, and there's a Neo Geo. Let's go and have a quick, I'll give you a quick tour of the room. That I did do a room tour earlier, so this is just a quick glance over for those. The thing I say, I'm hopefully moving the room. It's a bit small at the moment. That's a Neo Geo. We've got like a PS5. That's PS5 controller, just the controller under it. There's a PC Engine under there. This is the game rack. So we've got PC. We've got Xbox 360. We've got we've got. That's my Switch collection up there. So that's all the red boxes of Switch. We've got more 360. We've got, this is the Nintendo. So we've got Wii, we've got Wii U. It goes down, there's Dreamcast and there's GameCube under there. And then we've got more Nintendo over there. That's like SNES, NES. We got Mega Drive, and we got like PlayStation down there. All right, we'll go into the things today. So right, Switch 2. So Switch 2's been with me nearly a week now, and sorry for the filming of this. I don't really have an easy way to capture this because I don't have a capture card, so I'm going to show you. I'm just going to be going through the various things, showing you my initial reactions, and that's this Switch 2. So Switch 2, so basically, so the Switch, and this is the main interface. And I apologise for filming. I don't really have an easy way to show this. I don't have a capture card, so I'm just going to be scrolling through the thing. So basically, what distinguishes it from the Switch 2? Well, the main thing is it's in 4K for a start. So firstly, when you get your Switch 2, you basically need to make sure it's output to 4K. So you go in here, you go to system settings, then you go down, you can scroll. I won't show you some of those ones. So you go down to display, and then you basically have to configure it. So you've got the console. Make sure HDR is turned on. So HDR is basically what distinguishes it from the older generation of consoles. HDR, for those that don't know, stands for high dynamic range. And then basically the TV resolution, you basically go down to 4K to make sure it's thing. So 4K is basically a distinct upgrade. Although 4K isn't anything new, people, it was been around since two generations ago. Nintendo's a bit late to the party with that. All right, make sure you have it configured to 4K and HDR. If you need to get a new TV, you need to get a new TV, but most of you should probably have that by now. So basically, these are all the things. So it's got 120 hertz output, which basically means enables you to get a faster frame rate and stuff. The only problem with 128H output is that the Nintendo, you say you can't use 120H output with 4K. You can only get 60 out of 4K, so that's a bit of a miss on Nintendo's part. So make sure that's turned on. You've got auto low latency. So with HDR, so now HDR as a default is set up to work with all software. Unfortunately, with some games, it looks quite washed out. So basically, you don't want to use it. You just go to compatible software only. and that will make sure you using it and the games don't look washed out on the thing. This is a 65 inch. This is an 8K TV. It's an LG. Okay, so we've done that. So right, when the first thing when you get your Switch to is basically if you have a previous generation Switch, is how do you transfer the thing? So basically, when you get there, so you have to go to system settings, and you'll find there's a setting which enables you to transfer all your data over from a Switch 1 to a Switch 2. You have to have them both plugged in. You have to have them both plugged in, which is an effort if you're running out of plugs like me. Apologize for the foot screenshot. Yeah, you have to have them both plugged in to transfer. So you can transfer nearly everything across. So your Nintendo account is basically linked to your console, and basically how you get all the games you've downloaded prior on the previous gen of console will all transfer over. But basically, you have to make sure your data transfers over. Some of the data is transferred by default, and some is stored in the cloud, so you don't necessarily need to. But all your stuff will transfer over. So when you've got your system, just make sure you give yourself a bit of a time to do this. I can show you I'll show you all my thing. Sorry, I have to basically Sorry, I'm going through my stuff. So this is basically the main menu. So you've got basically I'll show you the stuff. You've got your Switch Online. I'll just show you the menu from now. So you've got Game Chat. So that's new. That's basically using the camera. You've got your news icon. You've got the eShop, which is the same. You've got your album. You've got your game share. You've got controllers. You've got virtual game cards. I'll explain that in a minute. And that's the thing. So that's the main menu. So I will go to sorry, I'm trying to do this with one hand. I'm just going to try and show you my library of games. Right. So this is all my software that I have on the thing. I've got, I think it's around 30 games. Some of them are old ones, and some on. I'm trying to do this one-handed though, so bear with me. So yeah, I've got about 30 games. So the storage is 256 gigabytes. You have. I've got around 100 and something left, so I've used about half of it on these games. So the games take up a range of sizes. The Switch 2 games cap out at 64 gig, but like Switch 2 games cap out at 64 gig. So you've got 256 gigs of inbuilt storage, but you can get what are called, you need a new storage card. So that's the Switch 2 game, for instance, and you saw Mario Kart on that, right? So those are all the games I have. So Switch 2 games you basically need more if you need more storage, you have to get it's called a micro SD, but it's not the same one that you use with Switch 1. It's a different capacity card because it enables the higher data transfer rates and that. So you need a separate card. So you won't be able to use the one you've got for the Switch 1. These cards are in short supply at the moment. I haven't got one currently. You can get the official Nintendo branded ones, and there are various other third-party ones you can get. I'm waiting to get one. I'm going to get a terabyte or a 2 terabyte. I believe they cap out at 2 terabyte. They're also quite expensive. They're around, I'm in the UK, I'm in Europe, for those that don't know me in person. So these cards cap out, they're around £200 at the highest capacity, but like you're going to need a card at some point. Right. That's the bit about the thing and the storage capacity. So then we've got, so when you get the thing, there's some another system settings you should do to make sure. So you want to go to, what's we call it? I can't, sorry. Yeah, so the transfer will be around here. There'll be another system. So you've got various things. So they've got a couple of options that you should configure. All right, so there's an update that you've got all your various options here. So you've got the console battery. So there's something that you do for the Switch 2 now is to basically preserve the battery of the console and to keep it better. So if you basically you only use it in docked mode, it won't make much difference. But if you're going to use it in handheld mode and you want to preserve the battery, there's an option here. So you should turn that on to stop charging around 90%. So that preserves the battery. So enables you to keep the battery in better condition. Right, that's that. Oh, we saved. Now we mentioned it in basically we've gone into that. We should tell you a bit more about handheld mode. So how does it do in handheld mode? It's actually quite comfortable in handheld mode. It's fine. I was going to say the battery isn't as good as the either of the original models of Switch, where it's going to come with more power. It's got worse battery. I think the given battery is between 2 to 6 hours. I haven't played it in handheld much, but though I have enjoyed it in handheld when I've been playing it, I played a bit of Mario Kart in handheld mode. No, so the screen quality is it's not going to be as good for those that have had an OLED Switch. I don't have an OLED. I've only got the original model. I've just unplugged it. Right, so the screen, it's back to an LCD screen. It's not the best quality. The only handheld that I've got that's got an OLED screen was the PS Vita, and supposedly the new Steam Deck has an OLED screen, but the original had an LCD screen. All right. So for the also in handheld mode, it has VR, which you can use, which is variable refresh rate. This is not applicable to table to docked mode. So unfortunately that doesn't. But they might be able to enable it with an update. Anyway, so how it's a good handheld, and it's basically just like the original Switch. It doesn't feel. I don't think it feels heavier or anything like that. All right. So that's a bit about that. We're going to now go into a look about what have I been playing. So I've been playing a vast variety of games, going from original Switch to the new ones. So we're going to start off with the big one. All right, let's find it in the library. We're going to review Mario. I'm going to review Mario Kart briefly. Sorry for that. Was that a bit finger on the lens? Sorry about that. That might be fair. All right, I think that's it. All right, let's see if I can get to Mario. All right. I'll get to Mario Kart in a minute. Let's start with Fast Fusion. So Fast Fusion is going to be one of the things. So this is going to be a digital only game. So this is available on the eShop. So this is Fast Fusion. So this is going to be one of. I could boot it up now, but I'm not going to. But this is digital only. So this is one of the bargains and one of the games people are going to. It's one of the undersung games that people will go back and realise and start playing it. Anyway, Fast Fusion is a similar game in style to it's similar in style to an F-Zero or a Wipeout kind of game. It's a fast racing game. It plays at 4K. It looks really good. It's got HDR. There's a variety of options for it, which I play it on the highest setting because I think it's the best. Right, anyway, it's like a Wipeout or an F-Zero, but it doesn't have weapons. It's very similar to F-Zero, other than there's no weapons. It's a good, fun racing game. It's got a high frame rate, and it looks really good. And it's a Switch 2 exclusive, and it's digital only at the moment. It costs £15 or thereabouts in UK. Alright, I'd recommend Fast Fusion. It's the sequel to, I believe, there's Fast RMX and Fast Thing. So it's either the third or the fourth game in the series. I've played a little. I've done like a couple of cups on it. And if you like games similar to F-Zero, you're going to like it. Alright, let's see if I can find Mario Kart. Right, I'm just trying to scroll through the games. Right, let's. Oh, here we are. We've got Mario Kart. So I was just trying to find Mario Kart. All right, so Mario Kart. So this is Mario Kart, the latest one, Mario Kart World. The main complaint people have with this game at the moment is it's quite expensive. If you're buying the physical, it's around 80 in the UK or 70x pounds anyway. Right, Mario Kart World. What is the difference that differentiates it between this and the other Mario Karts? It's the open world people. They say basically now, not only do you have the normal like the races, but you have an open world, so you can go on what's called, you explore around the open world. You can find various missions and stuff, and you can get unlock various characters and that by exploring the open world. It's not a vast open world like some of the RPG kind of games, but it's an open world exploration. Also, so what this Mario Kart, so now you have 20 characters on the screen at once. So there's a lot more karts on the screen, so it's a bit more chaotic than some of the other Mario Kart games. Now, there's also a couple of other things that do. Mario Kart, for instance, I've been playing Mario Kart since the original. I've got the original on my shelf. I've got every single Mario Kart game. It should be there somewhere. Yeah, there you go. The upstairs up with the blue box. Yeah, that's the original Mario Kart. Came out in around 92 and 93, if I mean. Yeah, I've played every Mario Kart bar the, I think it was the Game Boy Advance one I don't have. I own everyone. All right, Mario Kart World. So there's basically like a what's called knockout tour mode. So it's basically it's like a battle royal kind of elimination style mode. You basically race, and there's a point where you have to be in X place after X laps, and if not, you get eliminated, and you carry on going until there are only so many of you left, basically. So that's another mode that's distinguished it. There's a good new selection of characters, but they're like, this is probably only their first kind of run with it. It could be like Mario Kart on the Switch. It might carry on going. They might carry on adding new content to it. I mean, so that's pretty much my review of Mario Kart World. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. If you like Mario Kart, you're going to like it. Is it anything different, particularly? Not especially, but the knockout tour and the open world exploration are good, and they'll probably add more new stuff into it. There's so many classic courses as some of the other games, and am I as keen on some of the new ones? I'll have to get used to the new things, but I've only played. I played on. I did play online with it. I did some of the knockout tour. Works pretty well. Oh, so I should explain something about this. So the Switch, with regards to the internet, is it faster than the original machine? Yes, it is. It's obviously newer hardware. Downloading games, I would say it is faster. Also, the interface on the Switch is faster and more responsive. As you see, I'm just flipping through it. The eShop is a lot quicker than it used to be, because it used to be a faff to download games, basically, because they took ages. It's got an inbuilt, most of my stuff is wired, so it's got an inbuilt Ethernet port in the dock, basically, because that wasn't on the original model of Switch, and you had to get it as an expansion. Right, so now we'll go on from Mario Kart World to, we've got the last of the Switch 2 games. So those don't watch my video. They've got various different kind of games you can get on the Switch. There's a Switch 2 games, Switch 2 edition games, and basically like Switch 1 games. So these are going to be Switch 2 games. All right, so we're going to go on to Nintendo Welcome Tour. So what is Nintendo Welcome Tour? It's basically what Nintendo should have included with the machine. It's basically the equivalent. It's basically like a Wii kind of game. Well, it feels like a Wii game. It's basically a way to explaining how the new functions of the Switch work. So it's going to explain how the new Joy-Con mouse works, how the camera is around there, and the various things. That's my table. Right. Various things work. Is it a game? It's not really a game. It's more like, well, there are mini games in it, but like it's a selection of quizzes and various things that explain how the various things work. In the UK, it's like £7-8 kind of thing. Is it a game? Maybe. Is it useful to explain how the console works to people? Maybe. Anyways, Nintendo should have really included this with the machine for free. Would I get it? Because I'm a completionist. I like getting these kind of things. Will I play it through any more than once? No, probably not. Anyway, that's Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour. Don't feel you have to get it if you don't have to. Right, now we're going to go into what are going to be the upgrade games. So I'll show you I'll just point to the various things. So we're going to. That's my original copy. We're going to look at Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I have played this one, so we will scroll through. So these are what are called Switch 2 edition games. Now there are various different ways of which you can get these. So you can get the full cartridge versions of these, which basically, so these are the Zelda, the original games with the Switch 2 upgrades. So now Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, for instance, are running in they're running at 4K resolution. They've got HDR and various other improvements. And so how do you get this? So if you have the Switch 1 version, you can upgrade to the Switch 2 version by buying the expansion pack, which retails for I think it's £10 in the UK. I didn't get it through that. Or you can buy the full Switch 2 version, which is it, and the upgrade, which is around. I got that for Tears of the Kingdom because I didn't have the base Switch game. Anyway, you can also get the upgrade if you have Nintendo Switch Online, which is down there, for free, basically, so you can upgrade over to it. So basically, when you plug that in, you basically have to go to the eShop and download the upgrade, because I put it in to start with and then didn't realize it didn't look any better, and I was like, what's going on here? I don't have the upgrade. So I basically had to download the upgrade. But when you got the upgrade, all right, Zelda now looks really good. They didn't say I hadn't really played this much. I've already got further than I did originally. I restarted the game. I restarted from thing. Anyway, we don't need to review Breath of the Wild. We know it's like going to be like a 10 out of 10 classic kind of game. I'll play Tears of the Kingdom when I finish this one. Anyway, there's also one other thing that's more unique. Oh, one other thing that's unique to this. Now there's a Zelda, what's called the Zelda Companion app that you can get. So now it has it tracks your stats. You download it on a mobile. I mean, it tracks your stats. You could also get say voice thing. It can guide you if you get stuck. And there's also a bit of additional voiceovers from Zelda and stuff like that, guiding you through the world when you get to various parts. All right. I've enjoyed using the companion app. I say it's quite good. So my only complaint with Breath of the Wild is that you don't have the expansion aren't included, and for what's supposedly a complete edition of the game, they should probably include the expansion, but you can still buy the expansion, but relatively expensive. All right, I'm happy to have that. Now I'll go into the other upgraded games. So we're going to start with the big one, which is Pokemon Scarlet. So this is one of the most notorious Switch games. On the Switch, it ran really badly, to be honest. The frame rate and everything was terrible. Now, how have they optimized the game? So now it looks a lot better. It runs with HDR. Have they sorted out all the textures and everything? Possibly not. But I have now played it, and I've got quite away with this game anyway. So now it's been optimized for the Switch, and this was one of the so all these updates, the ones I'm talking about now, bar the this is Breath of the Wild and stuff, these are going to be what are called free updates. There are 11 plus games on this list, bar the ones I haven't gone into. We're going to I'll tell you about the other ones that are available. So 51, these are all free updates. So 51 Worldwide Games, Big Brain Academy, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, Game Builder Garage, Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, Zelda Echoes of Wisdom and Link's Awakening are all free upgrades, so you don't have to pay any money for them, and they all have more. You gain more by playing them on the Switch 2 over the Switch 1. Right. And there's also going to be a Splatoon 3 update coming soon, but I think it'll be the day after, tomorrow, something like that, the 12th, I believe, for the Splatoon 3 update. All right, so there's that. So there's Pokemon Scarlet. So you also now, there's more Pokemon on the screen, and so it will enable you to do shiny hunting and that more efficiently. So I think it looks fine now. Is it 100% optimized? Probably not, but it does look a lot better. Anyway, well, that's Pokemon. Right, then we have, what's the next one? We've got Mario Odyssey. So now Mario Odyssey, I thought it was a good looking game originally, but they say now it's got running a lot better, and it looks really good. So I mean, it's and then basically it will tide you out. It's a good game. It's probably one of the best platform games. I haven't played it as much as some people. I did restart it because I haven't finished these games, and so I've restarted it. So it will tide you over till Donkey Kong comes out, and as of this video, Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Banana Blitz, I believe it's. Is it Banana? I can't remember what the new Donkey Kong game anyway. It's going to be like this game, but on the next generation hardware. All right, Mario Odyssey looking very good. We've done Mario Kart World. Where are we? We've got. Okay, so right, we've got ARMS. So ARMS, for those that don't know, I'll show you my original copy of ARMS. And this is worth getting, and this is basically probably not well recognised. This is a Switch 1 launch game, and as you see, the price in the UK was £18 when I got it. I mean, that was probably a couple of years back now, but it's very unusual. So the games that I like basically are the ones that are more unusual, and definitely is the thing, because they're trying new ideas. Alright, what is Arms? Arms is a bit like a Punch-Out kind of style of game. It's basically like a boxing kind of game, more an arcade kind of game, and you can use motion controls for this if you want. Alright, Arms is now running at a better frame rate, and it's got high resolution. I think that's all the upgrades to Arms anyway. All right, I think I've showed you all my the upgraded games. Oh, then say there's Pokemon Unite, which is digital only game, so it's free to play. It's my most played game on Switch though. It's like 450 hours, I think, of time of video. All right, is this running better on Switch 2? Yes. I don't think this has a higher thing, but I'm pretty sure it's running quicker. And I don't think this has been specifically optimized for Switch 2. So if you put a Switch 1 game into your Switch 2, most of them are just going to run, at at a better frame rate, for instance. All right, Pokemon Unite, I can confirm it runs faster on Switch 2. And it is a thing. Right, now let's go into the GameCube games. I'll show you can I show you? Sorry. Okay, so it's like worth it. So I haven't used the I haven't used the camera yet. I haven't used the game chat thing. So I can tell you a little bit about the game chat though. For those that have your camera, you basically set it up. You have to put in your phone number. So if you don't like that, you're not going to like that. So game chat at the moment is free till sometime early next year. I believe it's till March or something. For those that have Switch on, it's free to everyone for basically until next year. And after that, you have to pay for it, I believe. Right. So then you've got the eShop is working quicker. Oh, virtual game cards, that might be worth explaining as well. Sorry for this, but don't forget to those that new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me grow the channel. Obviously, I plan to be doing these keep on with these Switch videos, and in addition to my other gaming content. So if you like Switch 2 and like various other video game content, all right, I'm just going to show you a bit about the virtual game cards, because this are how they work on the new console. So you can basically, now how Nintendo have decided, this is basically how your game cards work. So basically when you load a game onto the thing, or whether you buy it, so you've got it's like a digital kind of thing. So you basically get, so if you have multiple consoles, you basically have to load them to this console. If you have two consoles, you can link them together. But you can only have the game on one console at once. You can either load it, or you can lend the game to a family member. I'm on my own, so I don't need to do this, but I'm explaining it for those that have basically a group. So basically, it enables you to it's really like if you have multiple games for your group, basically, because you can't have multiple copies. You have to buy multiple physical cards and stuff, although some games have game share that enables you to broadcast them to another one. All right, these are the game key cards, another controversial feature on those. I can't get to the thing. Let's just actually look at my GameCube games. All right, so this was the game we've got. So there's 3 GameCube games which is available. So you basically have to have a Switch 2 to get to GameCube games. Oh, that was Zelda. I'll show you that in a minute. Sorry, I'm trying to get the stuff out. So that's the GameCube pad. So you basically, this is a GameCube pad that you use for the Switch 2 GameCube games. You can get other ones. So this is exclusive to Nintendo Switch Online. So basically, you can probably get it elsewhere as well, but like you more or less have, this is expensive thing. It's around 60 something for GameCube controller, but I do feel like it's probably best to have this to play the GameCube games, because I tried to play them with the Pro Pad. I tried to play F-Zero with the Pro Pad, and like the Pro Pad, we've tried to remap the buttons and stuff. Even for that was an annoyance. All right, this apparently you can use original GameCube games with an adapter, but you lose the new the functionality, like being able to get to the home menu and the chat button and stuff like that. All right, that's that's the GameCube controller. All right, so there's 3 games currently available. So this is Zelda the Wind Waker, or the cel-shaded Zelda. This is my original copy. Okay, so I haven't played it. So I mean, I imagine it runs better, but I can't really go into that. Those Soul Calibur 2. So that's also available. That's got link. These GameCube games aren't very big. They're around 6 gig. and F-Zero GX. So F-Zero GX is a that you see is the price I paid for it back in like whatever 5+ years ago. I paid £1 for it. I mean, you say it's more like a £50 game. Anyway, say F-Zero GX. I played this one. It's very quick. It's really good. It's like a good racing game. I'm sure I'll get to it at some point. I played other games in the F-Zero series, but I never got round to playing this one. Anyway, GameCube games are available on the Switch online, and as I say, they're going to add more as time goes along. And you can say hopefully that I believe they're going to add like the Pokemon games, like get Gale of Darkness and stuff like that as well. Right, that's pretty much that. You say, so the controversial thing on the Switch is one of the other things is the game is so now what they're called a game key cards, which are another kind of game. Basically, not all the game is included on the card, or very little of it in some cases. So it will say on the case basically game key card if they don't have the game basically on the disc. So it's basically for like people that care about video game preservation, like me and quite a lot of other people actually. It's whether you actually own the thing and stuff like that. And basically, if half of the time it's not on the card, so when the servers go offline eventually, what will happen to the game and stuff like that. All right, that's another controversial feature. I would say I'm very happy with the Switch Pro controller. I've been using it pretty much all the time, other than for the specific things on the Switch Welcome to it. I've been using the Pro Pad. So the Pro Pad is very good. The controls it controls well. It's one of the best pads. As I say, the main features that it offers over the regular Switch pad are the back buttons. There's 2 customizable buttons on the back which you can custom map for various games. I haven't used the back buttons myself yet, but like I'm sure I'll use them in the sun. Anyway, I'm very happy with the Pro controller. I can confirm the battery. It's wireless. When they say the battery, it's about 70 hours, I believe, on this one, which is quite good. Right now, so we're going to round up the video. So, has the Switch been worth it? For me, yes, it has. Do you need a Switch now? I'm going to say you need to think about, do you need it now or not? It means say they're in short supply now. I mean, you say they're going for like kind of high prices on like say eBay. Do you need a Switch now? Basically, think about it. Say I would have bought it day one regardless, pretty much. Anyway, you say so. Think about it. I mean, you say if you thought about when at the Nintendo Switch, did you want basically a 4K a Super Switch, basically, or a Switch Pro as it was taught? Many rumors were about at the time. Did you want a Switch Pro? I'm going to say if you said yes, you wanted a Switch Pro, or you want your games running at say 4K on a more modern TV or more modern hardware, I would say yes, go for it. If not, wait until there's some games that you actually want. These Switch 2 upgrades are good. Nintendo is starting to do this, and I imagine Nintendo will start offering more upgrades. For instance, the Splatoon 1's coming out tomorrow. Splatoon 3, though, I'm not quite sure what's in that, but I'll be hopping into the Splatoon 3 update. Anyway, would I say the Switch 2 is worth the money? For me, yes. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video and given you a bit more thought about whether you're going to get a Switch 2. I mean, if you end up getting one, let me know. Say what you enjoy and what you don't enjoy about it. I mean, also the other controversial feature is the cost of the games. The hardware itself, I don't think is too bad. It's comparable to the Xbox and the PlayStation, for instance, the COTS. On terms of cost, it's around 430, I think it is. Yeah. Anyway, all the games I've played, I've been happy with, and then yeah. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. And then if you haven't seen the first part, check out the first part of me unboxing the system. Anyway, I'm probably going to play some Mario Kart. Alright, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. And don't forget to check out my other videos, which will be linked in the playlist. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.